time again for Shakespeare. I really need to start sleeping more. I'm working on it, kind of. All right, making sure everything's working. Is there music? There should be music. I think I hear it. Kind of. Yep, I heard. Okay, we're good. Y excelente. Bada-boom, bada-boom. Yep, okay. We are good. So, all right. Nah. Okay. With Shakespeare. It has been so long I had to look back. Luckily, I keep the videos because I did not remember. So here we are at 5071. It reminded me of in French how you say 80 is 420s. Yeah. Anyway, 71. Right? 50, right? Yes, 50 plus 20 is 71. Oh gosh. All right, let's go. Shakespeare. I should probably put the, okay. It's been a while. It has been a while. La da da da. Why is it like that? Oh, because I have to. Nope. There we go. Okay, here we are. And you can hear me. And there's none of that weird stuff. And yeah, and we're going to go. Shakespeare. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear the surly sullen bell give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world, with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the band that writ it, for I love you so, that I in your sweet thoughts would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if, I say, you look upon this verse, when I perhaps compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love even with my life decay, lest the wise world should look into your moan, and mock you with me after I am gone. Wow, okay, what a way to start it out. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Well, so first, again, it's been a while, but it almost seems like it's going along those lines of I am not worthy of your love, basically, mocked by the world and everything. And just by associating yourself with me and loving me in such a way that other people know that you love me, you will also be mocked and ridiculed. So, joy, no longer mourn for me when I am dead. Fairly straightforward. Then you shall hear the surly sullen bell give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world, with vilest worms to dwell. So yeah, I'm dead. No longer mourn for me when I am dead. Then you shall hear the surly sullen bell. Okay. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand. Oh, the hand, sorry, that writ it. Okay. For I love you so. Remember not the hand that writ it. Don't remember me. I love you, that I in your sweet thoughts would be forgot. Just forget me. If thinking on me then should make you woe. If you would be sad to remember me. Oh, if, I say, you look upon this verse, if you look upon this poem, when I perhaps compounded am with clay, am 6 feet under, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, do not even speak my name, but let your love, even with my life, decay. As I am gone, also let your love die. Lest the wise world, which, I mean, again, that self-deprecation, I guess, should look into your moan, your unhappiness, and mock you with me after I am gone. Feel like that's pretty straightforward. I'll just check trusty dusty book to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I'm pretty sure that was yeah, sad. It is. Oh, and then I was thinking as I was reading it, the vilest worms, it was reminding me of Poe and the conqueror worm. Loved that one. Yep, no, so 71. Yay, I got it right. Make woe cause you grief, rehearse, repeat with me as it mocks me. Okay, feel like that's not the things that would be necessary for translation, but okay, that was 71. Great way to start it out. Yay. 72. Oh, lest the world should task you to recite what merit lived in me, that you should love after my death, dear love, forget me quite. For you and me can nothing worthy prove, unless you would devise some virtuous lie to do more for me than mine own desert, and hang more praise upon deceased I than niggard truth would willingly impart. O lest your true love may seem false in this, that you for love speak well of me untrue, my name be buried where my body is, and live no more to shame nor me nor you. For I am shamed by that which I bring forth, and so should you to love things nothing worth. Same story there. Um, so that the world, well, if the world were to task you to say what merit lived in me, what worth I had, that you should still love me after my death, dear love, just forget me. For you in me, you cannot find anything worthy uh, to speak to that question, unless you would devise some virtuous lie, unless you lie about me, to do more for me than mine own desert, uh, to make me seem better than I deserve, and hang more praise upon deceased I, and to praise my to praise my living self while being dead, the niggard truth would willingly impart. Then and hang more praise than is actually true. Oh, lest your true love may seem false in this. Um, so so you do love me truly, but it would then appear false in lying so, that you for love speak well of me untrue, that you speak well of, or that you praise me, say good things about me, even though it's not true, because you love me. My name be buried where my body is. I am dead. Forget me, my name. Let it die with my body. And live no more to shame, nor me nor you. Let my name live no more. So that's not shaming me, and it's not shaming you. For I am shamed by that which I bring forth, what I have done, what I do within my life. Oh, and that's actually kind of interesting because he's not dead yet, or whoever is not dead yet. So I am shamed by what I bring forth, even now. Like, there's not necessarily a question that I am going to die. It's just once I do. But, and that's the thing is, then try and change it. But, and again, it could be one of those where, oh, I am about to die, so let me die, and let my name die as well. For I am shamed by that which I bring forth, and so should you. You should be shamed by me, as well as the fact that you love something, or just things in general, something that is not worth anything. These are downers today. All right, so that was number 72. On to 73. All right, let's try. Ooh, yellow leaves. Great. All right, let's see if this goes. Oh, nope, I see death. All right, that time of year thou mayest in me behold when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day, as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceiv'st, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long. All right, so I think it took a little bit of a different turn, so we'll see. That time of year, thou mayst in me behold. So during the fall-ish, you may see in me when yellow leaves, or none, or few, which I kind of, so I'm sort of a linear-ish person, so reading stuff like this kind of helps me get out of that a little bit, where you'd think it would go, when yellow leaves, or few, or none do hang, but instead it's the yellow leaves, or none, or few do hang. Yeah, that's something particular to me that I really like seeing, just to get me out of the rigidity that I often get myself into. So that time of year, you may see in me when it's either fall or it's winter, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold. Bare ruined choirs, and I love that, bare ruined choirs. So yeah, so I assume it'd be choirs as in like where the choir, like a choir loft, not specifically choirs, because it's the late sweet birds were singing within them, the trees. In me, thou seest the twilight of such day. Oh, okay. So in me, and this could be going back to like how old the writer probably is. In me, you see the twilight of such a day where everything is cold and now I'm starting to expire. As after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by, which eventually black night will then take away. So it's still kind of that sunset about to die. Yeah, so then death's second self is that night that seals up all in rest. So I am at the twilight of death, of a cold day, of a cold, brisk, sad day. In me you see the glowing of such fire, that on the ashes of his youth doth lie. I am old, as the deathbed whereon it must expire. Consumed with that which consumed with that which it was nourished by. I assume your love, consumed, because you're consumed with that which it was nourished by. I was nourished by your love, and so I am consumed with it towards my death, kind of. This you perceive, which makes your love more strong, to love that well which you must leave before long. Oh, that's actually kind of nice. Could be taken a little bit weird. But yeah, so you see that I am, well, oh. I mean, it could be romantic. It could also be, like, just in general having an, it could be like a parent or a grandparent or just someone looked up to, where you perceive in me that I am near the end, and it makes your love stronger because you want to spend that time and take that time to love and appreciate what you have now, which is very soon not going to be there. So it's sad, but it's also kind of nice, kind of sweet. 73. Now we are on to 74. See, and that's starting it like that. It makes it seem like it is like a and that would be something that I would. I've seen it in here a little bit before, not everywhere, but it would be interesting to go back through and see if it is really like one whole sort of story. I don't think it is, but just the fact that maybe a couple of them like do go into each other, and it's like that half sonnet, double sonnet thing. I don't know. But be contented. Number 74. But be contented when that fell arrest without all bail should carry me away. My life hath in this line some interest, which for memorial still with thee shall stay. When thou reviewest this, thou dost review the very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of a wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that is this, and this with thee remains. And okay, so another thing that I thought while reading this one, I really enjoy how he takes different perspectives on the same thing. Like, oh, I'm horrible over here, and oh, I'm kind of great over here. Or not necessarily great, but just there's that downtrodden perspective, and then there's that do remember me. You have the best part of me. To remember. I don't know. It might not say don't forget me, but yeah, just having that, again, those different perspectives and not I don't know. It's just one of those mentalities that I appreciate in his writing. But be contented, but be happy, be contented. When that fell arrest, without all bail shall carry me away. When death, without bail, because, yeah, can't come back from that, shall carry me away. My life hath in this line some interest. My life has um, something to that lives on, that keeps on, which for memorial still with you will stay. For, yeah, to remember, it will stay with you. When you remember this, you will remember the very part was consecrated to you, was given to you, was bestowed to you. The earth can have but earth, which is his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So the earth can have but earth, the body, which is his due. My spirit is yours, the better part of me. So then thou hast but lost. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life. All that you have lost is the body, the lesser part, the what can be forgotten. The prey of worms, my body being dead. The coward conquest of a wretch's knife, to base of thee to be remembered. Which again, I believe it's kind of remembered. The coward conquest of a wretch's knife. Oh, yeah, to base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains. The worth of the body is what it contains. And that is this, my spirit and memory, and this with you remains. I love that. The worth of that is that which it contains. I love that too. Come back. No, go away. I know what the means. For the most part. Ha ha ha. I just want to check Trusty Dusty Book for the Coward Conquest. I lost my mustache. Ugh. Yeah, it makes me happy. Nostalgic. Okay. Coward Conquest of a Wretch's Knife. I feel like it, again, it's something to do with the body and like just. Oh, this one does say remember red. This one has a little chicka over the E. So I was correct. Coward Conquest. Let's see. Okay, a much debated line. The wretch is most plausibly explained as death, and the speaker is cowardly for yielding to him. The coward conquest of a wretch's knife. Oh. Okay. So the coward conquest of a wretch's knife. So death's knife, and I, the speaker, being the conquest, the coward, and yielding to base of thee to be remembered. The prey of worms, my body being dead. The coward conquest of a wretch's knife. To base of thee to be remembered. I mean, it does. It kind of makes sense, but I also feel like I could be wrong. It's been a while again. The fact is not capitalized, but maybe that's not even an issue. I'm not sure. I was thinking it was just using, I guess, the scenario of a murder, perhaps. Like, it's so easy to just dispatch a body. That it, and just using that as a sort of an analogy there, to base of the to be remembered. I'm just gonna check it one more time for the to base of the. Where did my mustache go? Okay. And the speaker's cowardly yielding of to base by thee to be remembered. To base of thee to be remembered. Again, I think that's just the body. Again, to base by thee to be remembered. Oh! Yeah. So my spirit is yours and it's the best part of me. Body can go bleh. Prey of worms. Yay. Sounds good, 75. That was 74. We're on to 75. So are you to my thoughts as food to life, or as sweet seasoned showers are to the ground. And for the peace of you I hold such strife, as twixt a miser and his wealth is found. Now proud as an enjoyer, and anon, doubting the filching age will steal his treasure. Now counting best to be with you alone, then bettered that the world may see my pleasure. Sometime all full with feasting on your sight, and by clean starved for a look, possessing or pursuing no delight, save what is had or must from you be took. Thus do I pine and surfeit day by day, or gluttoning on all, or all away. So this one's overview. Uh, I need your, I need attention. No, kind of ish. So are you to my thoughts. Just thinking about you is as food is to life, or as sweet seasoned showers are to the ground. So that sustenance, or that, yeah, sweet seasoned showers are to the ground. It is. It gives life. It sustains life. And for the peace of you, I hold such strife. So for your peace, um, for your peace, I hold such strife. I am. Uh, I I can't quite get it. It's one of those things where like I have it in my mind, but it's not quite coming out in the words. For your peace, I am anxious. I struggle, kind of, as twixt a miser and his wealth is found. So, like for you, I am like the miser, you are the wealth, and I keep you as much as possible, and I always try to get more. Now, proud as an enjoyer, like the meme, and anon, doubting the now proud as an enjoyer, and anon. Okay. Now, like I'm proud, and I take pride in having you, and I enjoy having you, and then at the next moment, I doubt because eventually, I'm not going to have it anymore, whether by death or just in general, uh, having to spend or anything like that. The filching age, yeah. So death. Ooh. Or death could steal you. No. Kind of. Could be. I don't know. Now counting best to be with you alone. I like it best when I'm just with you. Then bettered that the world may see my pleasure. Oh, so at one point I just want to be with you. Um, and then at the next I want the world to see how happy you make me. Sometime all full I feast upon your sight. Um I'm filled up with it. I'm happy, I'm satisfied. And by at another point, I I need you to look upon me. And I need that. Possessing or pursuing no delight, save what is had or must from you be took. I care for nothing else. I have no other delight, save what I get from you in whatever way. Thus do I pine and surfeit day by day, or gluttoning on all, or all away. So that back and forth of I'm always wanting, I'm always needing, and then I have, and I'm over consuming it, and then it's gone, and then that back and forth sort of a thing. Yeah. Number 75. On to 76. Why is my verse so barren of new pride, so far from variation or quick change? Why, with the time, do I not glance aside to new-found methods and to compounds strange? Why write I still all one, ever the same, and keep invention in a noted weed, that every word doth almost tell my name, showing their birth and where they did proceed? Oh no, sweet love, I always write of you, and you and love are still my argument. So all my best is dressing old words new, spending again what is already spent. For as the sun is daily new and old, so is my love still telling what is told. Oh, I love it. it there's just something, just the musicality. It's beautiful. And it's almost like you kind of know what's coming and it fits just so perfectly into place and just ties it up with a bow. And it's perfect. All right. Why is my writing, why does it not have anything new? Anything um, new that I am proud of or that I value? So far from variation or quick change. It's all the same. There's nothing new, there's nothing various to it. Why, with the time, do I not glance aside? Why, over time, do I not look to new ways of saying things or different ways of putting it together? Why do I write still all one, ever the same? So I'm always writing the same thing and keep invention in a noted weed. So I discard, I do not oh no, that's okay, sorry. Ah. Um I leave invention, I leave creativity in the weeds, basically. That every word doth almost tell my name. Everything that I write basically indicates that I wrote it because it is all the same. Showing their birth and where they did proceed, showing where they came from and where they're going. Oh no, sweet love, I always write of you, and you and love are still my argument. You're still the thing that I write about, still the thing that I guess, argue within my, or uh, I'll just leave it argue within my writing. It's the content of my verse. So all my best, the best that I can do is dressing old words new. So saying the same thing over and just dressing it up, kind of, uh, slightly differently. Spending again what is already spent. For as the sun is daily new and old, so is my love still telling what is told. Beautiful. So yeah, so it is. The sun rises and sets, rises and sets, rises and sets, but it's the same. So it is. It is both new, it is both old. Something old, something new. But that's the thing too, though, that everybody loves a sunrise and a sunset. So though it may appear, and I mean, don't add pain to a masterpiece, but yeah, it is. I think it has both of those sort of connotations where it's a little bit, I can't find anything else, I can't figure out anything else, it's just the same, but also it still has that effect, that, yeah, that nice effect. Oh gosh, words. Words are hard. 77. That was 76. On to 77. Oh, yeah, we're still good. Thy glass will show thee how thy beauties wear, thy dial how thy precious minutes waste. The vacant leaves thy mind's imprint will bear, and of this book, this learning mayst thou taste. The wrinkles which thy glass will truly show of mouthed graves will give thee memory. Thou by thy dial's shady stealth mayst know time's thievish progress to eternity. Look what thy memory cannot contain. Commit to these waste blanks, and thou shalt find those children nursed, delivered from thy brain, to take a new acquaintance of thy mind. These offices, so oft as thou wilt look, shall profit thee, and much enrich thy book. Interesting. Okay. So, the glass, the mirror, will show you how your beauties wear. It will show your aging. Thy dial, your clock, sundial, whatever, how thy precious minutes waste, how much time is passing. The vacant leaves thy mind's imprint will bear. So the book, the empty leaves, the empty pages, your mind's imprint will bear. So you're writing your memories down, and of this book, this learning mayst thou taste. Of this book, this learning mayst thou taste. Oh, you by how much you've written, you will learn, or you will taste that learning of how much time you have already spent. I think. Sounds about right. Oops. No, I don't need to bookmark it. All right. The wrinkles. Oh. Oh, shoot. Ah. I was noticing that my thing's just like a little bit off. It's very close. Anyway, it's okay. The wrinkles which the mirror will truly show of mouthed graves will give thee memory. So the wrinkles will remind you or put into your mind of open graves towards which you are approaching. You, by your clock's shady stealth, you will know that time's thievish, stealing your time's thievish, time being the thief. Youth, again, potentially. Thou by thy dial's shady stealth mayst know time's thievish progress to eternity. Look what thy memory cannot contain. Commit to these waste blanks. Hang on. The vacant leaves thy mind's imprint will bear, and of this book. Okay, so it does. That line makes it seem like you are writing in the book, and this one is kind of telling you to write in the book. Commit to these waste blanks, the pages, and that. Oh, and you. Okay, so look what thy memory cannot contain. Look into what you have written within the book. Commit to these waste blanks. They were blank and now they're not. These waste blanks, potentially. And you shall find those children nursed. And you'll find the children that you bore and raised delivered from your or maybe it's just verses and writing. The memory. Those children nursed, your memories, delivered from your brain to take a new acquaintance of thy mind, to remember. These offices, so oft as thou wilt look, as often as you will look at these, shall profit you, shall make you happy, and much enrich thy book. So the more you write, the more you will have that to look back on and remember, and it won't be such a it won't be so hard to look upon your wrinkles and the passing of the time. Potentially. I think so. Number 70. I keep thinking 50 for some reason. 78. That was 77 on to 78. So oft have I invoked thee for my muse, and found such fair assistance in my verse, as every alien pen hath got my use, and under thee their poesy disperse. Thine eyes that taught the dumb on high to sing, and heavy ignorance aloft to fly, have added feathers to the learned's wing, and given grace a double majesty. Yet be most proud of that which I compile, whose influence is thine and born of thee. In others' works thou dost but mend the style, and arts with thy sweet graces graced be. But thou art all my art, and dost advance as high as learning my rude ignorance. All right. Often have I used you for my muse, my inspiration, and found fair assistance, and found a fair. You have been helpful in being fair. That have found fair assistance has been helpful because you are fair in my verse, kind of. As every alien pen hath got my use, and under thee their poesy disperse. As every pen, any sort of pen, I have used, and under thee their poesy disperse. And I have a lot to say about you, yes? And I've written you so much that I have used all sorts of. It sounds weird to say it like that, but that's what makes it so great, is that instead of saying, I've written about you so much, I've used a lot of pens for it. As every alien pen hath got my use, and under thee their poesy disperse. Beautiful. Your eyes that taught the dumb on high to sing. So your eyes, the angels sing about, kind of. And heavy ignorance aloft to fly. And heavy ignorance aloft to fly, okay. And have added feathers to the learned's wing. Hang on. Thine eyes that taught the dumb on high to sing, and heavy ignorance aloft to fly. have taught the dumb on high to sing, and heavy ignorance to fly, have added feathers, even, not just heavy ignorance, have added feathers to the learned's wing, and given grace a double majesty. So, yeah, so saying, not only have you taught the dumb to sing and given heavy ignorance to fly, even like how hard is that to do? You've even added feathers to the learned's wing. So even those who already have and grace a double majesty. So even those that already contain those, what already contains those qualities is added to because of you. Yet be most proud, like even because of that, in in spite of that, or despite, apart from that, sorry, be most proud of that which I compile, which I relate here, whose influence is thine and born of thee, whose influence is thine, which I compile, whose influence is thine. So, which I compile, whose influence is thine, you are my influence, and born of thee, it's born of you. In others' works, thou dost but mend the style. In others' works, you only just tweak a little bit the style of it, and arts with thy sweet graces graced be, and yeah, and what is already artistic with your sweet graces are also graced. But you are all of my art. Everything is you, and dost advance as high as learning my rude ignorance. And as ignorant as I am, as lowly and inartistic, whatever, as I am, you bring it, because all of that is you, you bring it so high. If that makes sense. I think so. Again, it's one of those things where it's said so well that it sounds weird trying to translate it into just, I guess, not so poetic, but it is. It's just so good. 78. On to 79. We're making good time, I think. Yeah. Whilst I alone did call upon thy aid, my verse alone had all thy gentle grace. But now my gracious numbers are decayed, and my sick muse doth give another place. I grant, sweet love, thy lovely argument deserves the travail of a worthier pen. Yet what of thee thy poet doth invent, he robs thee of, and pays it thee again. He lends thee virtue, and he stole that word from thy behavior. Beauty doth he give, and found it in thy cheek. He can afford no praise to thee but what in thee doth live. Then thank him not for that which he doth say, since what he owes thee thou thyself dost pay. Sorry. Whilst I alone did call upon thy aid. So I alone called upon for your help within my verses, I assume. My verse alone had all thy gentle grace. Whilst I alone did call upon thy aid, my verse alone had all thy gentle grace. So I alone called upon your aid, used you as a muse. My verse alone had all of your gentle grace. It has nothing to do with me. My verse is all of you. But now my gracious numbers are decayed, and my sick muse doth give another place. But now my gracious numbers are decayed, and my sick muse doth give another place. I grant, sweet love, thy lovely argument deserves the travail of a worthier pen. Yet what of thee thy poet doth invent, he robs thee. Okay. Is it saying that you are sick? My muse, you are sick and ailing, and I don't think so. But now my gracious, or it's just my verses in general. It could be that I've used you as a muse, but now I'm finding less and less to say. My writing, my description, whatever, is, the quality is dwindling. My gracious numbers are decayed, my sick muse doth give another place. Sick muse doth. And again, like, it could be that the muse is not the subject itself, but just the inspiration. And as the writer, I'm I'm not doing well with it. Like I have all the inspiration, but I'm having troubles actually making it work at the moment. I don't know. I grant, sweet love, thy lovely argument deserves the travail of a worthier pen. So your lovely argument, your countenance, your what you lend to the content deserves the work of a worthier pen. I am not worthy to be writing above, writing about you, committing you to paper. Yet, what of thee, your poet, uh, what what your poet invents about you, he takes from you and gives it back to you within the verse. He gives you virtue, but he stole it from, or he took it from your behavior. He writes of your beauty that he already found upon your face. He can afford no praise to thee but what in thee doth live. He cannot say anything but what is already within you. Don't thank him for what he says about you, since what he owes to you, you paid yourself. And I think that bit was pretty straightforward. I'm still a little ish about 3 and 4, but we did our best. 80, 420s. Oh, how I faint when I of you do write. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Oh, I'll just make sure everything's going right. Perfect. Don't do that. I thought that I guess it doesn't overlap it. All right. Oh, how I faint when I of you do write, knowing a better spirit doth use your name, and in the praise thereof spends all his might, to make me tongue-tied speaking of your fame. But since your worth wide as the ocean is, the humble as the proudest sail doth bear, my saucy bark inferior far to his, on your broad main doth wilfully appear. Your shallowest help will hold me up afloat, whilst he upon your soundless deep doth ride, or being wrecked I am a worthless boat, he of tall building and of goodly pride. Then if he thrive, and I be cast away, the worst was this, my love was my decay. So we got a little bit of a, see, okay, and I hate the love triangle trope. It's just one of those things for me that I just do not like. But, does it need to be, in order to be a triangle, it needs to be like this person is in love with this person, is in love with this person, is in love with this person? Or is it just, can it be that just the dual to the one? I don't know. I feel like that's more of like a love tent. But sounds like a euphemism. Anywho. But anyway, so that's what, again, I don't know if I can call it love triangle, but there's a contender for love in this one. Oh, how I faint when I of you do write. I am overcome when I write of you, knowing that a better spirit doth use your name, a better. I do. I think it's an rival lover. Knowing a better spirit doth use your name, another writes of you. Yes. And in the praise thereof spends all his might. He also spends all of his energy praising you, and makes me tongue-tied and unable to write of you, speaking of your fame. But since you are worth as wide as the ocean is, the humble as the proudest sail doth bear. My saucy bark, inferior far to his, on your broad main doth wilfully appear. I still try. Your shallowest help will hold me up afloat. What little you can send my way, what little attention, affection you might send my way, will hold me up afloat, whilst he upon your soundless deep doth ride. I'm keeping it ladylike. Whilst, yeah, so I'm over here in my little boat and I'm just trying to stay afloat. And he's just having a good time over here. He's good. He's set over here in his big boat. Or being wrecked. I am a worthless boat. So if without your love and attention, I am just simply or wrecked and therefore worthless. He is tall. His ship is tall and goodly pride. And if he thrives and I be cast away, if he stays afloat and I'm cast away, the worst of it was this, that my love basically was my demise. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And again, like, it's, on one hand, it's a really, again, as much as I don't like the rival thing, it's a very good analogy and well executed, but also can be taken in modern terms. But we won't do that because I'm a lady. Number 81. Or I shall live your and again, when it starts like that, does it go with this one? We shall see. This one says sail. I don't know. Or I shall live your epitaph to make, or you survive when I in earth am rotten. From hence your memory death cannot take, although in me each part will be forgotten. Your name from hence immortal life shall have. Though I once gone to all the world must die, the earth can yield me but a common grave, when you entombed in men's eyes shall lie. Your monument shall be my gentle verse, which eyes not yet created shall o'erread, and tongues to be your being shall rehearse, when all the breathers of this world are dead. You still shall live, such virtue hath my pen, where breath most breathes, even in the mouths of men. All right. So, or, I think that might have a slightly different context. Just that little using or at the beginning of, like, it could be either. So, or, that first or is probably either. Either I shall live your epitaph to make, or you survive when I in earth am rotten. Haha, I think that's right. Either I will live beyond you and make your epitaph, or you will survive when I am. And I love that subtle distinction between either you will die and I will, and that imagery of the epitaph, the stone, rather than in contrast to the when I in earth am rotten. So either I will survive you, make your epitaph, or you will survive me, and I will be rotten within the earth. From hence, from here your memory death. From hence, from here your memory death cannot take. Your memory will live on, although in me each part will be forgotten. So my memory will all be forgotten. Your name from hence immortal life shall have. Your name shall live forever, even though once I am gone, I will be dead to the world. The earth can yield me but a common grave. I will have nothing but a common grave, a normal, wormy bed. When you will be entombed in men's eyes, you will be forever entombed in men's eyes, and that monument you will be living on through my gentle verse, which people years from now will read over, which eyes not yet created shall read, and tongues to be, tongues not yet created. Your being, your existence shall rehearse shall repeat within this verse. When all the breathers of this world are dead, when all the breathers of this world are dead. It's a little bit amusing. Just because mouth breathers. When all the breathers of this world are dead, everyone breathing now, when they're all dead, you will still live on, Such virtue hath my pen has such virtue. Where breath most breathes, you still shall live where breath most breathes, even in the mouths of men. Yeah, so breath most breathes in the mouths of men. And people forever will keep you living on in re repeating the poems about you in which you live. Haha. That was number 81. Number 82. Yes, I do have to go up. Okie dokie. Number 82. I grant thou wert not married to my muse, and therefore mayst without attaint or look the dedicated words which writers use of their fair subject, blessing every book. Thou art as fair in knowledge as in hue, finding thy worth a limit past my praise, and therefore art enforced to seek anew some fresher stamp of the time-bettering days. And do so love, yet when they have devised what strained touches rhetoric can lend, thou truly fair wert truly sympathized in true plain words by thy true telling friend, and their gross painting might be better used where cheeks need blood, in thee it is abused. Okay, that took an interesting turn. Okay, I grant thou wert not married to my muse, and therefore mayest without attaint or look the dedicated words which writers use of their fair subject, blessing every book. Thou art as fair as knowledge, in knowledge as in hue, finding thy worth a limit past my praise, and therefore art enforced to seek anew some fresher stamp at the time. Hang on, let me just quick go over it. And do so love, yet when they have devised what strained touches rhetoric can lend, thou truly fair wert truly sympathized in true plain words by thy true telling friend, and as their gross painting might be better used where cheeks need blood, in thee it is abused. Interesting. Okay. I thought it was going one way, and then I think it went the other. Um, hmm. There. Okay. Art enforced to seek anew. All right. Having a little trouble, but we're just gonna go for it because it feels almost like he's talking to his love, but also to. I think it's talking to the subject. I grant thou were not married to my muse. I would take that as the subject being separate somewhat from the inspiration. Like, you are what I'm speaking of, but there's some context in between there that is somewhat the muse. Like it is. It's going back. There were some other ones where it's like who you are specifically is slightly different than how I perceive you, just because um, how that perception does alter not who that person is, but how they are perceived. That circular reasoning. So, like, the actual person is distinct from what the person perceiving sees of them. So, I grant thou wert not married, connected, like, not the same as my muse. So, you are you, and my muse, my inspiration from you is slightly disconnected, and therefore mayst without attaint or look the dedicated words which writers use of their fair subject, blessing every book. It could also be. We'll move on. I'll try and pin that and see if I remember it. You may overlook the dedicated words which writers use of their fair subject, blessing every book. Grant that we're not married to my muse, therefore. Good evening! We're back with Shakespeare. It has been a while. So we're just going over 82. Slightly strange. but we're working through it. So, first, going on a line of, I grant thou wert not married to my muse, as the subject itself, the actual subject, being distinct from the muse, which is the inspiration, or how the writer is perceiving it. And because of that, we may, without attaint or look, the dedicated words which writers use of their fair subject, blessing every book. So you might not see the same things in you that I see in you. So, sup! We're doing Shakespeare. So yeah, so we're just working on this one, number 82. And yeah, it's the writer writing about the muse. And I hope everything's going well with everyone. So yeah, so the distinction between the subject and the inspiration, the subject does not see what the writer sees in the subject. The writer's love and perception could put a different spin or shade upon the subject. So therefore, mayest without attaint, you may overlook the words which writers use of that fair subject, which is you, and blesses every book. You are fair in knowledge, as in hue, and then it gets into like painting, so there's that analogy. You're fair in your mind as well as in your look, finding thy worth a limit past my praise. Your worth is past what my praise can actually achieve. Therefore art enforced to seek anew. Some fresher stamp of the time-bettering days. Thy worth a limit past my praise. Therefore art enforced to seek anew some fresher stamp of the time-bettering days. All right. And therefore art enforced. Okay, I'm just going to go to the next bit just to... And do so love, yet when they have devised what strained touches rhetoric can lend. Oh, and therefore art enforced to seek anew some fresher stamp of the time-bettering days. It could be, find a different writer, or you need a new writer because I am not as good at praising you as I would like to be, and therefore art enforced to seek anew some fresher stamp of the time-bettering days, because there has been in previous sonnets, where people at some point will write better, but mine is out of love for you. They might write better, but mine is out of love, which kind of makes mine better. Kind of. We'll see. And do so love. Look for love or appreciation elsewhere. Yet, when they have devised what strained touches rhetoric can lend. Yes, so when another writer have strained the limits of their own skill and capability, thou truly fair wert truly sympathize. Oh yes, it does. Okay, sorry. You truly fair wert truly sympathized in true plain words by thy true telling friend. So even if you find a better writer, you are better told, more truly described by me in my plain words, as plain as they may be, and by thy true telling friend, which is me. Ha! And their gross painting, not gross, but might be better used where cheeks need blood, in thee it is abused. So yeah, that overdoing it, that too much sort of a thing. And yeah, and again, not having that love for the subject, which adds to the paint or hue of the poem, kind of. Yeah. That one was a trip. That was 82. Okay. So how's it going? Thoughts? Yeah, the other ones were a little bit better than that. But got there in the end. Okay. And yeah, it started out kind of dark in The first ones. It was all about how, yeah, I'm gonna die, just forget me. It's like, okay, all right. Number 83. I never saw that you did painting need, and therefore to your fair no painting set. I found, or thought I found, you did exceed the barren tender of a poet's debt, and therefore have I slept in your report, that you yourself, being extant, well might show how far a modern quill doth come too short. Speaking of worth, what worth in you doth grow. This silence for my sin you did impute, which shall be most my glory, being dumb. For I impair not beauty, being mute, when others would give life and bring a tomb. There lives more life in one of your fair eyes than both your poets can in praise devise. Okay, I know two church organists, nice. One can play every flourish and ornament. The other plays very simply, but with a lot of feeling, conveys the message better, in my opinion. Nice, yeah, yeah. Last one, 82, made me think of that. Yeah, absolutely. And and it does. It is a very artistic thing where like the distinction between skill and yeah, again, that feeling, that emotion, and it could be like a technically technically lacking um creation, but because and and I guess this goes into, well, um I don't know as much about music as you do, but a lot of this, again, a lot of the stuff nowadays, it's very like technically um again, kind of cookie cutter, because that's what works, kind of. Whereas older stuff uh, was a bit more, it was based on, again, that feeling, that emotion, where the artist was coming from. And again, it might have gone this way, that way, whatever. And it didn't stick to the rigid structure. And it did. It hit you more, it hit you better. She also thinks she's not worthy compared to the other. Right. Yes. So yeah, so that's what I do. I love that contrast between the, like, it is like I know that I I don't have that, again, that technical skill and talent. I don't have the best words, the best way to describe you, um but it does, it's more truthful of, and again, that's another thing that has been in past sonnets, where it has been like, you are the subject, and I, like, that love that I have for you brings out the truth in you. So you can be looking, you can have this person who does not love describing this person, but this person who does love describing the person, and it is truer in love than it is in just uh, again, that description, whether or not it is technically superior or not. So yeah, so it is. It's that the recognizing the lack of skill, but like it's better because it's it's truer because of that love. So yeah, excellent. Oh, yeah, so good. And just, it is. It's the analogies, and just the where cheeks need blood in thee it is abused. Just the way, yeah, the writing is excellent. Yeah. So that one's that one, I guess. Unless you have any final thoughts, otherwise we'll move on to 83. I never saw. Oop. Haha, nice. I never saw that you did painting need. I never saw that you did painting need. You did not need any painting. It could be makeup or analogous. I think it's analogous. Makeup, anything to cover over you or change you in some way, and therefore to your fair no painting set. To your beauty no painting, or just in general additions, was set. Yes. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't remember if I actually did read this one before analyzing it. Therefore, to your fair, no painting set. I found, or thought I found, you did exceed the barren tender of a poet's debt. So your worth exceeded barren tender of a poet's debt. The a poet's the lack of a poet's skill, basically. Therefore, have I slept in your report? I have not been. Um, I have not really come to your attention that you yourself, being extant, being existing, well might show how far a modern quill doth come too short. Okay, so this is again going into that um, newer, more technically superior quills will still fall short in your worth or in describing your worth. Uh, Speaking of worth, what worth in you doth grow? What worth in you doth grow? And your worth still continues and grows. This silence for my sin you did impute, which shall be most my glory being dumb. And therefore have I slept in your report. And I think this is going into I am not speaking these words, I am simply writing them. This silence for my sin you did impute, which shall be most my glory, being dumb, so unspoken. For I impair not beauty, being mute. Okay, when others would give life and bring a tomb. So again, I impair not your beauty by not speaking it, when others would attempt to give life to it and instead kill it. There lives more life in one of your fair eyes than both your poets can in praise devise. So, despite this one being more technically superior, despite me being more emotionally or truthfully superior, still your worth is even greater than that. I think it sounds kind of right. It sounds good, at least. Barren tender of poet's debt, therefore have I slept in your report that you yourself being extant well might show. I think so. I think so. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So that one's that one. I was thinking it's been a while since I've done the shake. Well, I guess only a month, but I was assuming that I was going to be a little bit rustier. Words are hard, but it's going okay. All right. Number 84. Who is it that says most, which can say more than this rich praise, that you alone are you? In whose confine immured is the store which should example where your equal grew? Lean penury within that pen doth dwell, that to his subject lends not some small glory. But he that writes of you, if he can tell that you are you, so dignifies his story. Let him but copy what in you is writ, not making worse what nature made so clear, and such a counterpart shall fame his wit, making his style admired everywhere. You to your beauteous blessings add a curse, being fond on praise, which makes your praises worse. Ooh, interesting. That took a turn. Okay, so who is it that says most, which can say more than this rich praise, that you alone are you? So who says who says the most, which can say more than this than this rich praise? Sometimes it seems like it's kind of uh obvious or clear cut in the words, so I just end up saying the same thing, which can say more than this rich praise, that you alone. Okay. Who is it that says most? Which can say more than this rich praise is that you alone, you're one in a million, basically. Who can say more than that? This rich praise. In whose confine immured is the store which should example where your equal grew. In whose confine immured is the store which should example where your equal grew. Lean penury within that pen. Okay. Um, so again, the writing. Who can create your equal in that writing? Because you're worth so much, how can they and who can create that equal or grow that equal? Lean penury within that pen doth dwell, that to his subject lends not some small glory. But he that writes of you, if he can tell that you are you, so dignifies his story. So that to a subject, and I think it's also kind of saying the lean penury that to a subject lends not some small glory. It gives a lot of praise, but still does not reach how much you're worth. But he that writes of you, if he can tell that you are you, if he can, yeah, if he can tell that you are you, so dignifies his story. In simply saying that, that's kind of all that needs to be said. Let him but copy what in you is writ. Let him just but describe you what is you, not making worse what nature made so clear. So nature made the beauty, made the that clear cut beauty. Don't make it worse. And such a counterpart shall fame his wit, shall make him famous. He's going to do a good job, making his style admired everywhere. Straightforward. You, to your beauteous blessings, add a curse, being fond on praise, which makes your praises worse. So yeah, I want to say that might have been the first sort of, maybe not. It's been a while, but that might have been the first sort of jab at the subject. you, you, you have all these beauteous blessings, but you have this one curse that you're fond of the praise, which lessens those praises. Where that came from, I'm not quite sure. But, well, I guess it kind of goes with the fame bit, unless. And such a counterpart shall fame his wit, making his style admired everywhere. You to your beauties. And it could go more into. Oh, okay, hang on. I'm thinking maybe it could. So, in saying that the poet who could describe you in such a way that you alone are you and reach that worth, be able to describe that worth, would then be famed, and bringing in that. So, kind of like asking that question of the subject, and then it is there's so many like ways that it could go, and I could just be kind of going off on tangents that aren't really there. But so like asking that question of the subject and saying if someone could create your equal, they would be famed, and recognizing in the subject that sort of hunger then for that fame and attention and pride in that, which then, yeah, so just addressing that fact and saying that's a little flaw there. I'm not sure, like that could be a little like off to the side where it's not actually there, just where my mind goes. Which who is it that says most, which can say more than this first praise, that you alone are you, and who's divine and weird as a star which should exist. It does. It kind of seems like it comes out of nowhere. So just taking it from that perspective of like speaking to the subject, that who can say more, what is it that needs to be written in order to be worth it, to then make it famous, or make you famous and writer famous, and then addressing that reaction in the subject. I don't know. It could be, and it could just in general be addressing that coveting fame at that point. I don't know. 84, I think. Is it still 84? That was 84. Yeah, yeah, it seems good. All right. Checking time frame. Okay, we can do a few more. Number 85. My tongue-tied muse in manners holds her still, while comments of your praise richly compiled reserve their character with golden quill, and precious phrase by all the muses filed. I think good thoughts while others write good words, and like unlettered clerk still cry amen to every hymn that able spirit affords, in polished form of well-refined pen. Hearing you praised, I say, 'tis so, 'tis true, and to the most of praise add something more. But that is in my thought, whose love to you, though words come hindmost, holds his rank before. Then others for the breath of words respect. Then others for the breath of words respect me for my dumb thoughts, speaking in effect. Okay, my tongue-tied muse. So, yeah, so that distinction between like the muse is the inspiration or the actual creative being that actually gets the words down on paper, and the subject is distinct from that. My tongue-tied muse, having trouble writing, in manners holds her still, so she's kind of hanging out a little bit, while comments of your praise, richly compiled, reserve their character with golden quill. While comments of your praise, richly compiled, reserve their character with golden quill, and precious phrase by all the muses filed. So yeah, other people are writing about you too richer, um, in richer words than I can. I think good thoughts, while others write good words, and like unlettered clerk still cry amen to every hymn that able spirit affords. So yes, I agree with everything else that everyone is writing about you. I'm having my good thoughts over here, but I'm unable to put it into words. I agree with all of the words over here in polished form of well-refined pen. So it's all polished. It's technically superior. Hearing you praised, I say 'tis so, 'tis true, and to the most of praise add something more. But that is in my thought, whose love to you, though words come hindmost, holds his rank before. Again, that in my thought, my love, though my words are lacking, they rank before the rest because of my love. Then others for the breath of words respect me for my dumb thoughts, speaking in effect. So then others for the breath of words, they respect my mute thoughts, my unspoken thoughts, which speak to that effect. Speaking, or no, sorry. Um, those words speak the effect of my unspoken thoughts. Yeah, I think. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so that's where we're kind of on a bit of a, what's the word? Gosh, words are hard. Oh my gosh, it's right there. It's a meandering. It's the same sort of a thing. Like it is. It's the same skeleton of a poem, but the meat is different. Back to Morbid October. Yeah. So that was 85. On to 86, yes? Yes, sure. Was it, and yeah, and maybe we'll just finish off this page. That'd be good. 86. Was it the proud full sail of his great verse, bound for the prize of all too precious you, that did my ripe thoughts in my brain inhearse, making their tomb the womb wherein they grew? Was it his spirit, by spirits taught to write above a mortal pitch, that struck me dead? No, neither he nor his compeers by night giving him aid, my verse astonished. He, nor that affable familiar ghost, which nightly gulls him with intelligence, as victors of my silence cannot boast. I was not sick of any fear from thence, but when your countenance filled up his line, then lacked I matter, that enfeebled mine. Inhearse is a great word. Oh, I love it. And it's things like that where those are the kind of words I don't know if he actually created that sort of a word, or created that specific word, but the words that he did create within his works are all ones that it's just putting the roots and the tag-ons together and making a really great word. So again, if you're following a format, of origin, it works. It's okay. Seriously, I'm gonna try to work that in tomorrow. In hers? Excellent. That sounds great. Wait, wait. Are you flying tomorrow? I thought you weren't flying on Thursday. Well, that's news to me. Sounds good. Excellent. Or just in general at work. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm a little bit morbid, so just that I don't know. It's such a good visual, and yeah. So yeah, it is awesome. Awesome. I hope you do. I hope it works out. Fantastic. um. All right. So was it the proud full sail of? Oh, not flying. Huh. Okay, that's what I thought. So I was like, but okay, works good too. Um. Was it the proud full sail of his great verse, bound for the prize of all too precious you? So again, going to potentially the rival lover. Was it his proud full sail of his great verse? Or again, it may not necessarily be. Not necessarily. I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand, I guess, rival lover and person who's also writing about you. So was it the proud full sail of his great verse? So again, the analogy of his his verses to a large proud ship, and he's bound for the prize of all too precious you, which is also great. That did my ripe thoughts in my brain in her. That whole line is great, actually. That did my ripe thoughts in my brain in hers. So, again, I'm me with my little boat, and I've got these great thoughts about you, and I'm gonna write them down because it's great, and because this guy comes along, it just kills it. It inherses it. Sounds like he's ashamed of writer's block. Yes, yes. Oh, was the proudful say? Ooh, bound for the prize of all too precious you. Right. Sure. Well, so I'm also looking at it from can't find the words to say, and some other dude is just killing it. Right. Yeah. 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 Absolutely. And it could the writer's block could have come from that destruction of confidence. Because because the ripe thoughts, they're ready, they're good to go. Then all of a sudden, this guy comes along, and now my brain is dead. Making their tomb, the womb. Oh, okay, sorry. This one's great. Making their tomb, the womb wherein they grew. You know what? I just need to. Oh gosh, I do. I love Shakespeare. So true. Okay, yeah. um, making their tomb the womb wherein they grew. Was it his spirit, by spirits taught to write above a mortal pitch that struck me dead? So was it his spirit, by other spirits, other beings, taught him to write above uh, what a mortal would be capable of? That, yeah. So that what? So yeah, it is. It's a question of was it him that killed my ability, or is it just me kind of stuck in his own head? Right, yeah. Um, oh, okay, so no, neither he nor his compeers by night giving him aid, my verse astonished. Okay, yeah, so it wasn't him. It wasn't him coming along. He nor that affable familiar ghost which nightly gulls him with intelligence. It wasn't him. It wasn't whoever, whatever being gives him that intelligence. As victors of my silence cannot boast. It's not. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so you had the whole poem in your mind, and I was just reading line by line. So I was not sick of any fear from thence, but when your countenance filled up his line, then lacked I matter, that enfeebled mine. Yeah, as victors of my silence cannot boast, I was not sick of any fear from thence, but when your countenance filled up his line, then lacked I matter, that enfeebled mine. So it and it could have that slight distinction between it wasn't just him, it wasn't his writing, it was the fact that you were in it, and it was you and not him that, again, uh, writer's blocked me, kind of. Potentially. I don't know. But the oh, I did. That did my ripe thoughts in my brain in hearse, making their tomb the womb wherein they grew. I oh yeah, I already did that one. So excellent, love it. All right, that was 86 on to 87. Farewell. Oh, perfect. Yes, I think we will. We'll make this one the last one since farewell. Farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou know'st thy estimate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing. My bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting? And for that riches where is my deserving? The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself thou gavest, thy own worth then not knowing, or me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So thy great gift upon misprision growing comes home again on better judgment making. Thus have I had thee, as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. So I must check trusty dusty book quick. And again, oh jeez, oh gosh, it's a big book. It was going to crush my keyboard. So yeah, as I'm reading it, I do sometimes like lose the thread of it. So I have to, yeah, get it back as I go back through it. Nope, we're on 87. That's how old Aragorn was. 87. All right. Make sure I'm getting this correct. Oops, where is it? 87. Oh, is it going to be one of those where it doesn't give me what I need? Okay, misprision. I need to know what that root is. The book is Defense Against Wayward Bears, right? Honestly, though. Oh, I got quite a few. I got quite a few of those. I need to know what the root of misprision is. Like precise. Prendre, to take. In French. Really? Okay. Oh, so like mistake. It's mistake, but poetic. Misprision. Misprendre. Mistake. Oh gosh, I love that. Sorry. Language. All right. Farewell. That thou art too dear for my possessing. You are too dear for me to possess it. And like enough, you know how much you're worth. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing. My bonds in thee are all determinate. The charter of thy worth gives thee releasing. My bonds in thee are all determinate. So yeah, I, my hold on you is not, I think. For how do I hold thee but by thy granting? I do not hold you, but that you allow me. And for that riches, where is my deserving? I do not deserve the richness that is you. The cause of this fair gift in me is wanting. Cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, and so my patent back again is swerving. So wanting as in lacking. Is this writing again? Hang on. And so my patent back again is swerving. Thyself you gave, thy own worth, then not know. Ooh, okay. So you gave yourself to me at a time when you did not recognize your own worth, or me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking, or you mistook me as being someone worthy of you. So your great gift. Okay, so the cause of this fair gift in me is wanting. So the fair gift of you having given yourself to me is lacking. Like it's not. You shouldn't have, basically. So my patent back again is swerving. Back again is swerving. That's a little weird. So thy great gift upon mistake growing. Yeah, so your love of me then is growing upon a mistake. Comes home again on better judgment making. Oh no. Hang on. It comes home again on better judgment making. Thus have I had thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. So it almost seemed like it was going into now you have better judgment. Yeah, so farewell. Farewell, thou art too dear for my possessing, and like enough thou knowest thy estimate. Charter of thy worth. Charter of thy worth gives thee releasing, so your worth releases you. My bonds in thee are all determinate. For how do I hold thee in thy granting? Cause of this fair gift in me is wanting, so patent back again. So yeah, so it's so my patent back again is swerving. It's that U-turn from uh giving yourself to me. Thyself thou gavest, yep, for me to whom thou gavest it, else mistaking. So thy great gift upon misprision growing comes home again on better judgment making. So now you've recognized that mistake. Thus have I had thee. So when I had thee, as a dream doth flatter, it was like as in a dream, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter, but not actually. But I mean, again, without that, like, that matter or that lasting matter. Well, sad. Oh, thus have I had thee as a dream doth flatter, in sleep a king, but waking no such matter. So yeah, so a dream can flatter a king, and when he wakes up, he's still a king. But having had you, that dream flattered me, and upon awaking, now farewell, uh, it, I'm no king, and I have nothing else. Sad, okay. Well, that's a. Yeah, alright. Sad one to end it on, I guess. But that's. There's. How it goes, I suppose. Some. Some more. What is it? Some happier than others. And I'm assuming I'm trying to think because we're at like 80. I think there's like 150. So there's like I guess like 60ish more. So we got time for happy ones at some point. Uh, so yes. So that was that. I hope things are well. Yeah. Had her in his dreams, which made him a king in the dream. Oh, right. Yeah. Absolutely. So made him a king in the dream, and then yeah, it didn't actually. Yeah, it didn't create it materially. So yeah, absolutely. I love it. All right. So, next time we'll be flying. I am. I'm doing only like once a week now. I have to actually. Yeah, I'm doing a writing project plus my oral prep, which, by the way, when we were talking about the METAR, I was going to answer your questions, but I had just been reading about those for my oral prep, and I thought I had it, and then I didn't end up putting it, and I was wrong because my study guide lied to me. So then after that, I was like, well, I'm probably going to get everything else wrong too, so I apologize. So I have to go back through and make sure that all of the things that I learned throughout that were actually correct. So yeah, so I really do appreciate you going over that stuff because it does help in my learning and that realism of it. So yeah, just throwing that out there. The MSL versus AGL. No, I actually looked it up because it was the METAR MSL versus AGL, and I was thinking it was MSL because that's what I read, um, and then I looked it up and it's the METAR and the TAF are both AGL, and yeah, so I had to change that on my study guide, and now I'm going to look at. I have another one too. That was a free one that because I'm cheap, but I have another one that's actually legit. So yeah, but I like going. I enjoy it when you go over that stuff because it does put it into a realistic perspective. And it corrects things that I apparently learned wrong. So, yes. Anyway, so thanks for that. And thanks for popping in here, too. That was fun. Thanks for the insight. Yeah, it has. It's been a while since I've done Shakespeare, and I missed it. I enjoyed the October spoopy stories and stuff, but I'm theatrical as well as authorial or literary. So Shakespeare gets me that for both. So yeah, um, I yeah. Next time we'll be flying. It'll be once a week, or so yeah. So next week will be flying. I'll I'm yeah. I'll figure that out, and then again more Shakespeare, and eventually we'll get into Christmas, and I'll start doing stuff for Christmas, whatever that will be. So yeah. So that's gonna be it for me. And Shakespeare's 25 plus years ago for me. I was never good at it. See, it was it was interesting because well, I want to say you did a great job. But it is it's I remember back when before I actually really did get into it how it did come through. It was like it's almost its own language. So I was start getting back into it. For this, I was a little bit worried that it was gonna be iffy, and it's been okay actually. So enjoyed it. Something totally different for me, right? Which yeah, I am. I'm a fan of like a a wide variety of things. So that's yeah, yeah. And it's actually it's something that I've found is a little bit iffy for me with the flying because it's I've like honed this mentality of like the editing and like the somewhat linear and very like precise. So I end up kind of hyper focusing when I'm trying to fly and I need to like figure out the big picture sort of thing. So it's been a bit of a mental shift for me when it comes to the flying, but it's fun and I like having that broadening of perspective. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, I you did enjoy it, so okay, I'm glad. And yeah, I think that's it. Brain is mush, but as usual. But that is that. And yeah, whoever got lost and found their way here or found their way back, hey, had fun. I always do. I need fiction in my life. And hope to see you again soon. Um, Saturday probably. Yay, excellent, fun. And yeah, I look forward to whatever comes next. Life is in Hurston technical analytical writing. Right. Okay. So how so I guess I would ask like how it's cool to read metaphorical and poetic stuff. Right. Yeah. And that's something that I found when I was like really hammering out the fact and reading that thing is I really did enjoy it, but I do have that other side of my brain that just really needs that aha sort of a thing. But and that's something that I yeah, I don't know how well, nah. I don't know. Brain is mush and it's yeah. Uh, it is it's just it's one of those things that I have to get over and cuz yeah, it like the actual but yet it's not also. The cuz like it is. It's like the flying is it is it's technical and analytical, but it also does have that well, especially the VFR flying, it has that subjectivity to it, but it's more of a again visual, less creative sense. So yeah, it's interesting. It is. I know, and like that's why I've been working on. Yeah, I need to start sleeping more because we tried to do a we tried to do an early flight, which I had kind of been plan I kind of told him that I was like, I won't be able to. My instructor, I told him like I probably won't be able to do like early flights because I do not wake up well because I tend to stay up very late. And we tried doing one, and it was a little ish, but it was okay because the plane didn't actually start. It was too cold. So it kind of worked out, and it just made me realize like, no, I can't get away with doing early morning flights because operating heavy machinery and sleep deprivation not a good thing. Because I can't. Apparently, I cannot sleep before 2 o'clock in the morning. There is an art to VFR, yes, but there's different types of arts. So it's like it's it's an ex it's an external art, right? Whereas like the writing and stuff is an internal more. IFR is totally frenetic and based on input, scan, response. Right. And that it's actually funny because my IFR has actually been well, okay, I did just the one Foggle thing and I did really, really well. My track is straight. So that I have that side of it too, but I do end up like hyper focusing because of editing mindset. So nice, not a morning person either. Right, okay. Good, yeah. So so I do have that. I can like match it and it's kind of like a puzzle sort of thing. But then yeah, with the subjectivity of the VFR, it ends up being for me what again, subjectivity for writing is it can go all these different ways. And so you got to find that you got to kind of choose whatever, but I'm still not yeah, it's just a challenge doing it kind of externally versus internally. So I don't know and again, it's one of those things where I'm overthinking it because that's what I do. But yeah, I don't know. It's just something that I like thinking of too. I got the philosophical brain and ideological brain. Haha, there it is. So yeah. So excellent. So that was that. That was Shakespeare. Thanks for bopping in. That was a lot of fun. And have a great whatever's going to be for you. Well, night, I guess, because, yeah. So have a good night. And have, yeah, good rest of the week and everything. And yeah, see you again soon. So, yeah. Yeah, that's it. So thanks. Overthinkers Anonymous. Oh, good. So you understand. Oh, okay. Sounds good. So I will. That gives me hope that at some point will be master pilot and I can look back and laugh at all of my struggles. So good. Good to know. So yeah. So how good. Yes. See you in a few days. Yes. Happy Veterans Day. Angry if you're still around. Is Angry still around? Angry? He might be flying. Is it? How did I not know it was Veterans Day? Hi. Well, okay. So now I gotta catch up with you though, because you had your tournament, and did you start? Um, did you start lessons yet? Or are you flying and we should chat about this later? Because, yeah, I need to know how it went. But yeah, if you're flying and if it's late and everything, we can chat later. Oops. Oh, okay. Sounds good. Yeah. And uh, it's okay to be naggy. Cuz I've had yeah, things with my will attack again tomorrow. Okay. Excellent. And yeah, just well, see, okay, so I always do like a okay in advance sort of thing, like okay, how does it look for the week? Can we set up a time like here and like here? So it I mean not too naggy, but yeah, just getting that in advance because definitely yeah, absolutely. Because you got to worry about like so. This week I'm basically missing because scheduling at first and then weather and then now the plane's in the 100 hour. So it's out of commission. So it was literally all three of the things that could go wrong in the week where I couldn't go. So yeah, if you can, yeah, nag your instructor just a little bit, um, to like kind of get that planned out. Well, and also if yeah, again, if he has other students or if he has uh just other personal flights too. So yeah, I'm excited. Good stuff. Yeah, tough in the winter, especially if you live farther north. Yeah, so like the one morning flight that we tried to have, the plane just wouldn't start, and the heating measures didn't work. Although that's kind of Booney's airport sort of situation. Went out and bought the Alpha and Bravo, yes, to get used to flying more correct and doing well. And again, I hope it is good for that, just because I've had some issues with like my pedals and my yoke being not having that same response, and then kind of getting trying not to get used to that and doing that in the plane. So yeah, yeah, and well, and the thing with the winter is it's nice and cold, but then again, like I said, especially with my janky plane, it it's it's good. It's a sturdy fellow, but it doesn't always work the best. Always playing catch up as soon as the weather clears up. Everybody's shopping. Right? Yeah, yeah. That sounds about right. Oh, that's gonna be interesting. Well, and then I was thinking about because always flying with my right hand needed to change. Sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, absolutely. That's fair. That's absolutely fair. And that's what, because I'm, again, I'm assuming I'm probably not at this point going to, like, check ride is, like, not going to happen for a while. And I'm assuming not till, like, better weather and everything. But then, well, I guess mud is probably just a me problem because my airport is grass. So I hope that that's not an issue and it goes into, like, summer and stuff. But yeah, yeah, so I hope that's going well then, at least, doing it with the sim and getting good with that. Oh gosh, now I'm like looking forward to spring, or not looking forward to spring, but looking into the future at spring and going, oh gosh, it's going to be busy, isn't it? So winter flying, that's going to be fun. All right, okay. I mean, did you guys want me to send you off somewhere? Is there a streamer you would like to go to? I just need to make sure my desktop audio doesn't go wonky. Ba-ba-bum. Oh gosh. Change if you're used to a stick, yeah. When I was doing CFI training, had to sit right seat and learn to fly. With the right hand, which felt completely weird, ironically, right. Luckily, here the winter isn't horrible and should get some time. Oh, good. Excellent. No worry necessary. Okay, sounds good. All right, that's perfect. Yeah, interesting. Sure, yeah, same. Which I should be. We'll see if I get any sleep, though. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. I'm glad I got to catch up with, well, both of you, kind of. And yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. And hope to see you again soon. And hear more soon. And good luck, Angry. Nag. Like, and I guess, like, that's been kind of my thing, is at least, like, the day before kind of try, just so that he doesn't, uh, pack his schedule up before you get a chance to throw your hat in the ring, sort of thing. So he'll go to one. Yes, see you Saturday. Yeah, I do. I'm pretty 100% certain I will be. So good. Yes, I'll let you know if not, but I'm. It should be. So yes, thank you, and yes. Okay. All right. Good night, and thanks again, and bye.